Hey there, welcome to another Monday morning analysis, which is obviously aired on YouTube. If you're new to this YouTube channel, please do hit that subscribe button, press the bell button as well, and most importantly, leave a like and a comment. So, it's been a while since I've done a video. It's actually been, Christmas period, then we had New Year, and New Year's Eve was the last official video that I did for Premium. Now, a lot's changed since then. We're going to talk about it. So the first things first is obviously what's happened with Bitcoin. We have reached a new summit, and what I've been doing over the last few videos is having this little ticker, and this has been, put us at the all-time high. We had a few days off, and we've obviously went and breached this level here, which is just below 35k, which you could probably argue psychological kind of level for the future to keep an eye on. But we have finally, it looks like, I know it's only been one day, don't get too excited, had a little bit of a retracement, but there's more to this video than just Bitcoin, obviously by the title. We are going to talk mainly about dominance and what it's done, and why this dominance chart is vitally important. We understand it and understand why it's important and why it works in the way it does, and why people make a lot of money using the dominance chart, like myself, using it to basically accumulate Bitcoin. And that's all we're going to look at, really, because this is the first start of you actually seeing it. If you are a new member, or if you're new to the channel, seeing it in action, where a significant drop means significant price action elsewhere. So obviously Bitcoin hit 35k, happy days. Ethereum, on the other hand, has went cataclysmically to the other side of the world. Technical analysis has kind of lost all its bearing in terms of levels and previous levels and stuff. So essentially what I need to do with this is go goodbye, right? And start again with this, because this has gone on a whole new level, and we need to be careful to see where this goes. So I'm just going to wait out on this one. I'm not really that fussed. I will mark a few little levels here and there, but for me, I'm waiting to see if this confirms as a turning point, to see if it is going to retrace a little bit in USD values, but we'll see. It's very, very early days, but yeah, you can see where this has been, 1,173, which in my opinion, savage, right? Pretty cool. But if we want to do some quick analysis and look at the top of all-time high to this bottom, we have literally went all the way up and hit a certain level. So you could probably argue maybe one level could be 909 here, one level could be 750, or you could have resistance up here. So maybe we could put a little bit of a rough estimate here on a potential area to keep an eye on, which is obviously going to be key. That could be one area there of level of support. But we'll see. I mean, it's very, very early days. We need to wait and see. But this is just weekly time frame sort of stuff. Very, very simple sort of stuff. But overall, in my opinion, Ethereum looks pretty damn strong, and I can't think anyone can deny that. However, I will be honest with you, the fees on it, ridiculous, disgusting, criminal, absolutely criminal. Obviously, we need to mark out that all-time high level. We'll remove that for now. Bear with me, and that is as much as I'm willing to go right now in terms of this chart. That is literally it. That's all we can pretty much do. Nothing much to do other than that. I mean, it's very boring, I know, I do apologise, but we've got a huge 900 level here. We've got a huge level here where we stopped and turn around. That could be resistance levels from the past, who knows. If you go down to the daily time frame, that's what it looks like. It looks a bit of a mess. But we've got to be careful. We can't just be, fully going balls deep in this and making sure that it goes to the moon, because it will retrace at some point, but it's looking savage. I mean, look at the state of it. It's ridiculous. So that's all we've got for now. Very, very early days. But as I say, if we go down to the lower time frames, we'll probably find a lot more. But what I'm waiting on, just to pinpoint this, waiting for this to be a turning point, as in a full turn, and then maybe a retracement into a certain region, maybe even lower than this, who knows, and then go from there. But it's very, very bullish right now. I'm obviously keeping an eye on this level as well. This looks like a very meaty little level too. But let's talk about dominance chart. What happened in the course of the weekend was a monumental push to the upside. So you can see here, we went all the way up to, let me just make sure, there we go. We went to 73.59. But what I want to do is see how valid this is in terms of overall spectrum. It made a bit of a high. It wicked a high, which is kind of irritating in a way. But over the course of like the last year, essentially, we've been on a downtrend of the dominance, right? So we've been doing this all the way up. So from the 1st of September, all the way over to like August, we went from 73 down to 57, which is pretty good. I'm hoping we repeat that feat again over this course of this year. Now, ideally, I want to go lower. And what this whole setup is essentially was this, and I'll just show you. It was essentially the Fibonacci levels, and we literally went and tapped the top. We basically made a double top essentially, and we may be going back down now. Now, if we are going to go back down and we form a lower swing, i.e. we go below 57, oh boy, we're going to make a ton of Bitcoin, and I want to explain why that happens. So this, it's still valid. Yes, there's a bit of a wick, but wicks can be loosely, loosey-goosey essentially. They can be exaggerated a little bit. You can kind of flaw them a little bit, but body closures are obviously more important in certain situations, especially with trends. When you got daily wicks, you can tend to get thrown out, especially if you got a weekly wick. Weekly wicks are always interesting. So we tapped it and we buggered off, and now this is what we've got result-wise. When you go down to the daily time frame, that's what we got. Again, the body closures did not get above this first line, which is a Fibonacci. The second line, though, however, was that wick I was talking about. So this is what it looks like. It looks savage, right? We are going to pull back down now. We are going to definitely pull back down. So what we're expecting now is, in my opinion, we're going to go to probably 66, and then probably down to 53, and then probably down to, yeah, you can get the picture. This is what I'm hoping for, as realistic as I possibly can be. But we need to try and be measured and understand that this might not happen. If Bitcoin goes on a run again, it'll start turning around. Bitcoin needs to slowly retrace. It needs to slowly go sideways and be boring, and then life will be good. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Well, it means for us as humans, we will be making stuff like this happen, right? When you see these charts ping, these are essentially the BTC charts of every altcoin. They're currently in a bit of a run right now. And when you look at trade sort of symmetry and management, let's just look at this, for example. They're hitting key levels in certain ways. Well, maybe I'll go a bit deeper. That looks a bit better. Bit of a more obvious one. So if you're looking for the start of this area, and even if you do this, for example, right, start from this area to that area, 618 levels found, went up to extension. If you go all the way up to the top here of this level, starting from this point as well, it's obviously hit the 618. So they are hitting key levels, and this level I identified as a key level on the weekly time frame ages ago. It's been sat on my chart for donkeys now, and it's a key level. It's got symmetry as well with the 618 at that start of the move. So can we expect now a big push to the upside to potentially up to here? Now, what does this mean for us? Well, let me just put it out. Say if we're going from current live pricing up to this point, that's a 72% increase in BTC. So say if you've got one Bitcoin and it goes up to there, you've just made 0.72 Bitcoin extra. Make sense? I hope it does. So this is why I'm talking about alt seasons and in terms of how to grow your Bitcoin. Growing your Bitcoin is vitally important because it's the ecosystem, it's Bitcoin. Look at the Cardano here. We are mega undervalued, and this is what I'm telling people: buy altcoins with spare Bitcoin profit. If you've got Bitcoin profit, put it in altcoins, because if this runs, i.e. if this, this reverses, because this is in a mega downtrend, obviously weekly time frame, but if this runs, and I mean turns, and it has turned, and it's hit this key level, wicked it, boom, off we go, we may well get, and if this happens again, by the way, boys and girls, this literal move back up to this upside from the start of the year, let me just give you an input point of view, 120%. So again, if you're holding ADA from that point and it goes up that much, one Bitcoin, you turn it into 1.2 extra, so 2.2. That makes sense. And if you've got 5 or 6 bags and they've all done about 70 to 100, 200% gain in Bitcoin, well, if you've got equivalent of like 3 Bitcoin in about 7 altcoins, and they all do roughly the same, that 3 Bitcoin could easily become 10, like really easily, because of the multiples, and it's scary. Looking at the likes of RSR, which had a big explosion the other day, it was like 203 sats or 30 sats at one point. It actually went even higher at one point. When you look at the daily time frame, if I go back in time to the dawn of time, essentially, when this loads, come on, man. The only problem with TradingView at the minute is because everyone's using it. It's ridiculous. So when you look at here, like when it was like alt season last time in September, we're at 243 sats, say, just for give it a, we won't worry about the wicks. Like when you look at that, as a long-term investment, look at the state of that. That's like 150 odd %. So you're going to see these big moves and you're going to see these big pumps, and this is how you grow Bitcoin. And over the seasons you do it. When the Bitcoin's got dominance is going down, you want to be in altcoins at that point, as in when it's really high, it's going to turn around and then boom. Because these charts are just telling you, buy this, please. It's lovely. Plato token, one that I'm rating very, very highly, by the way, just to give you a pointer. If that does that, it's 600%, 700%, give or take, who knows. That is definitely possible. I think this is a real, by the way, my pick of 2021, this coin. Just to put it out there, it's very, very low market cap. It could really balloon. And it will be featured on our courses very, very soon. So that is all I want to talk about realistically. That is what the theory is. That's what the magic does. With all this, you've obviously got the dominance chart of the dollar, which is obviously currently melting. As you can see the technicals here, we're going to that point where I expected it to, which is obviously triggering a bit of an alt season because money is moving out of the dollar because it's weak as hell. It's rubbish, it's crap, it's dying, it's on fire, and it's all going to crypto. You're seeing all this money going to crypto, we're getting the benefits now. So buy low, sell high. Whether you're using the BTC chart or the USD chart is always going to be inflated because it is just a mathematical sum of the Bitcoin price versus the Satoshi value. So be careful. As you can see, the huge amount of differences in terms of value. As you can see here with some of these coins, it's a bit random. Look at VeChain, for example. Totally random, right? BTC value is currently stronger because dominance is going down. With all this, so just the last point, this only means something when this happens. So I've marked this off for ages. This was like, when was this? Weekly time frame, I had this like this for about a week or two. There you go, a week or two. So I had this level as a top, the 7th of December, essentially. And we've broken out this little box. These boxes, by the way, are just significant to show us that we're in what season. This is an alt season, as in the entire alt market has been bullish. Money has been going into it. Alt seasons only happen when this goes up and the dominance goes down. If this goes down and dominance goes up, well, it's Bitcoin season, it's death season. You will lose your Satoshis, but this is what we want. This needs to keep going up now. It needs to keep going up and hit these levels up to the top. If this happens and the dominance goes down to sub 50, we have made a lot of Bitcoin for doing nothing by just sitting in altcoins. You will then profit into Bitcoin and you will be a part of that club, that prestige club of owning a lot of Bitcoin. So enjoy. Hope you have a good day. Like I say, this video goes out on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube and you've never checked out our premium, this is what we do every single day. Basically, we tell people how it is and why the market works and how you can act upon it. So, see you later.